Royal Commission, your reaction?
I'm very pleased with the announcement, really. I welcome that. I've been saying for some time I'd welcome the thing. I've held off calling for a Royal Commission. That's a matter for the public domain. But now that it's there, I think to get the facts out on the table and comprehensively address the problem across the whole country is a great thing. Yeah.
Are you happy that it's not just the Catholic Church involved?
Absolutely. I'm inclined to think that we need a much bigger societal sort of response to child abuse, and to some extent the focus on the Catholic Church has, distracted from the issues we've got right across the society.
Do you think this Royal Commission will essentially solve the problem?
Look, we hope for the best from it. These are complicated things and complicated matters. There will always be the predator, but I think we need the sort of consciousness and the procedures and the regime across the society that protects kids to the very best that we can. And I hope the Royal Commission can achieve something like that.
You've been in this job not a great amount of time.
18 months or something, yes.
Do you essentially feel like you've been lumped with this mess?
Paddy, we all have. It's part of the history of what's gone on in Australia, in the church and in other institutions, particularly, it would seem, in the 60s, 70s, 80s. So a lot of people have walked into a legacy of difficulties, and I can live with that.
Do you think the church, in the Hunter as well, will ever recover?
Yes, I do, because I think the way that we proceed these days is very much better than the old days. Now, that's not the public perception necessarily, which is one of the things that might be good about a Royal Commission. But I think in the course of time, it will be appreciated just from the change in the number of cases that occur and all the rest of it, that that times have changed and the church has got its act together. So yeah, I think in the fullness of time, recover. Yeah.
In your time in this position, have you noticed any changes for the better?
Look, I don't know about in my time in this position, but I've been around, a priest and so on for 35 years, and things have changed out of sight. And for the better, for child protection. All of the people who work here, are subject to the working with children checks, and no one who comes into the place can do anything without them. Staff are trained about their reporting responsibilities on a regular basis, and on and on and on. It's an entirely different world from the one in which I started my priesthood as far as child protection goes.
Are you at all worried about what this Royal Commission could uncover?
Yes, I think there'll be some very embarrassing stuff probably. But then again, we've acknowledged for years, I think, that mistakes were made. I hope there's not too much that looks like it's really systemic stuff rather than misunderstanding, incompetence, lack of awareness, and other things of normal human behaviours. So yeah, look, I think there'll be some embarrassing stuff that'll come out, largely about the past. Am I worried about that? Well, I'd rather have the facts on the table than the perceptions that people might have of what's gone on. They're generally worse, I think, than what actually went on.
So this is a positive that this is happening now. This can bring it all out, clear the air.
Look, it's a positive in a number of ways. It brings all out and clears the air, and I've been speaking as a churchman about what I think it might do for the church. The other aspect of this, of course, is that it's what victims of abuse have wanted, and I think for them it might have the benefit of getting everything out there in the public, creating greater understanding. Look, I think it'll be good for victims. I think it'll be good for the church. Here in New South Wales, we've had a pretty rigid child protection regime these last 15 years, but across the country that's not necessarily the case, so I think it'll be positive that it's a national thing and will introduce reforms presumably across the country. So yeah, I've forgotten now, Paddy, what you asked me, but that's a long answer to whatever it was.
You touched on the what it might do for the church. What are some of those things that it might do for the church?
Well, as I say, I think it'll make the facts available. We can't do it. The church's statements around this area have now been, well, they're not regarded with great respect, if I may put it that way, by many in the community, so that somebody else has had a really good look at it and this is the story, that's got to be good. It's better than a whole lot of suppositions.
Yeah.